Welcome to this explainer, where we're going to decode the ultimate career roadmap for aspiring tech professionals. Look, if you've been watching the software development landscape lately, you know the tech world moves insanely fast. But amidst all that chaos and rapid change, one methodology has become an absolute cornerstone for modern businesses. Today, we're taking a structured look at the DevOps ecosystem. Specifically, we're going to uncover exactly why mastering this field builds not just a successful career, but a remarkably stable and sustainable one.
Okay, let's just dive straight in by asking the big one. The most pressing question on every developer and IT pro's mind right now. When you're putting in hundreds of hours learning new frameworks, mastering crazy complex tools, and basically rewiring your entire operational mindset, you've got to ask yourself, is DevOps engineering actually a viable career path for the long haul?
Well, the answer, backed by massive industry adoption and, let's be honest, increasingly lucrative salaries, is an absolute undeniable yes. And the reason for this emphatic yes really comes down to one core concept: stability. Businesses are fundamentally relying on these exact engineers to keep their digital doors open and keep their products shipping flawlessly. To help map out this sustainable future for you, we're going to quickly walk through the DevOps career boom, define the role itself, unpack the essential technical toolkit, dive into CI/CD and infrastructure, highlight crucial security and soft skills, and finally, look at what a sustainable future actually looks like.
Section 1. The DevOps Career Goon.
Companies are actively paying a massive premium for specialists who can implement these processes. DevOps isn't just some niche tech fad anymore. It has penetrated almost every sector of the business world. Why? Because organizations are in a relentless pursuit of better product quality with fewer bugs. And because it takes highly specialized skills to implement these practices, kind of like implementing Agile, they're paying top-tier salaries to the engineers who master them. This cross-industry demand is exactly what secures a future-proof career path. You're not tying yourself to one specific industry, you're anchoring yourself to a universal business need.
Moving right along to Section 2, defining the DevOps engineer. Here's where you become immensely valuable. You solve the very expensive problems of slow, siloed, and insecure software delivery. Historically, you know how it was. Developers wrote the code and literally tossed it over a proverbial wall to the ops team, who then had to sweat to keep it all running. DevOps is the strategic fusion of those two teams. The critical goal here is simple but incredibly powerful. Enable more efficient, faster, and more secure software delivery to clients. When you are the linchpin making that happen, your job security absolutely skyrockets. This role requires what we call a full capabilities matrix. It's this really unique hybrid combination of three traditional IT pillars, pretty much split evenly. You've got about a third system administration, a third operations, and a third software development. You aren't just coding in a bubble, and you aren't just racking servers. You are bringing all three together into one cohesive skill set. It's this rare combination that makes a DevOps engineer stand out so brightly from the crowd. Section 3. The Essential Technical Toolkit. When you start translating these technical tools into actual business outcomes, you instantly see why this career is so secure. Take Linux, for example. Created way back in 1991 by Linus Torvalds, this open source OS forms the highly secure foundational environment for most companies today. On top of that, major configuration management tools, think Chef or Puppet, base their architecture on Linux master nodes, so you literally must know Linux fundamentals. Then you mix in automation tools. These ensure seamless transparency, collaboration, and super efficient information sharing across business teams. You are, essentially, the person making sure everyone has exactly what they need to pump out efficient products.
Let's hit Section 4, CI/CD and infrastructure.
We all know the outdated waterfall model, right? It's notorious for causing massive delays, endless manual testing cycles, and those totally stressful late-night deployment panics where everyone is just pointing fingers. Well, continuous delivery completely outclasses it. By ensuring that newly integrated code is ready for deployment with minimal human intervention, you are completely removing manual bottlenecks. This makes you indispensable. You're the one ensuring products are deployed on time, bypassing the traditional misery of chaotic release days. And continuous integration is essentially this simple, beautiful step-by-step process. A developer finishes a user story or functionality, and they immediately integrate that new code with the existing product code. No more, well, it works on my machine excuses. This rigorous practice saves the business so much time and so many resources during the integration phase. It helps the whole team deploy high-quality products way faster. Furthermore, stepping into infrastructure as code, or IAC, means the dark days of manually configured environments and fragile, error-prone shell scripts are gone for good. IAC is the latest best practice for a reason. It abstracts provisioning to high-level programming languages. Now, why does that matter for your career? Because suddenly you can apply standard software practices like version control, tracking, and monitoring directly to the infrastructure itself. You're adding massive value by creating stable, robust, consistent environments and removing a ton of human error from the equation.
Up next is Section 5, Security and Soft Skills.
Take a second to let this idea sink in. DevOps puts more focus on culture rather than tools and practices. It's a huge shift. Despite all our talk today about automation, high-level programming, and Linux nodes, your career truly thrives on culture. It's all about building genuine trust among your team members.
You've absolutely got to balance the human with the highly technical. Because DevOps implies incredible speed, you'll often face vulnerabilities getting introduced at a much faster pace. Enter DevSecOps. You have to implement security features right from the beginning to protect against fast-paced vulnerabilities, rather than just tacking it on at the end as an afterthought. Plus, you've got to collaborate actively. You're working in cross-functional teams where business, ops, and dev are all coexisting. Total transparency is mandatory, so everyone knows exactly what's happening and who's responsible for what. Active communication for positive vibes, team trust, and ironclad security, that is the winning formula.
Finally, Section 6, a sustainable future.
Mastering this specific hybrid combination of technical and soft skills is definitely not easy. You're learning automation, CI/CD, Linux, and at the exact same time, cultivating a whole new culture of transparency. But when you look at the cross-sector demand, the high salaries, and how DevOps genuinely scales businesses by securing software, it proves itself to be a deeply stable career choice. It's the backbone of modern tech, so the only provocative question left to ask yourself is this. When an entire global industry relies on this methodology to survive, what's stopping you from mastering it to secure your own sustainable future?